Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Bottom of Christmas Challenge with Brighton. So in the last episode, two absolutely fantastic results which has brought us to the beginning of the January transfer window, which is when we will return. So as it turned out, the January transfer window already opened just before we played West Ham and it completely passed me over. So it did open on the 1st of January 2019. We are directly after the West Ham game. So as I mentioned in the last episode, I'm going to play Stevenage off camera. We will see the result. And then actually I'm going to play Man City and Wolves in two live comps. With how Brighton have started since we've taken over the club, I don't think reinforcements are really necessary. The goalkeeping position was always the one where I said that I would like to improve, and if a player comes up in that position, I will definitely go for it. But with us only having £5 million and £50,000 spare in the wage budget, it might be something I don't really concern myself with too much. Shane Duffy has been a rock at centre half so far. Obviously, we're only 3 games in, and I can't judge them too quickly. But maybe a defensive midfielder, Dale Stevens, is not necessarily ideally suited for that position. So I will keep an eye out in terms of the transfer market. I will be looking for players. Maybe even at the loan or transfer list going forward, but I'll keep you updated anyway. So I am thinking I might chuck in a cheeky loan bid for Mohamed El Neni. He does look like a fantastic defensive midfielder on defend, which could replace Dale Stevens in that role, in the ball-winning midfielder role, which I think would suit our style quite well. Now he is transfer listed the wanting, I'm not even sure how much, 17.25 million, but in terms of a loan, they're only wanting 15 grand of his wages, which is 30%, and 0 monthly fees. So I'm going to make that offer. I think he will be an absolutely fantastic signing. In terms of a goalkeeper, I'm not really finding anything using the player search tool. So I am going to set a scouting focus for a first choice goalkeeper. Experience would do me more than fine. This isn't normal me. I'm not looking for longer term signs like I would usually do. So short-term focus, we are going to look for goalkeeper. We'll give them 2 weeks, automatic assigned. I do want someone who's at least 3-star current ability. So we'll look for that. Availability, I want them to be available now. We'll set the focus and we'll see what our scouting team can come up with. So we've had a bit of a situation. I've had 3 players come to me saying they're unhappy with first team football. And to be honest with you, I've came back to them and said they can leave. They can join new clubs. If anyone was to come in for the likes of Jurgen Locadia or Bong or Bruno, Bruno's our backup right back. He's 38 years old. I doubt anyone's going to come in for him on £32,000 per week. But Bong has just received an offer from West Brom. He's 30 years old, 2.9 million he's worth. He's an okay backup. I wouldn't really feel all that comfortable letting him leave the club. So I'm going to actually ask for £5 million from West Brom. We'll see if they'll bite at that. I'll take it if they do. They're not going to bite at 5. What's the minimum I would accept? I think 3.5 is a nice compromise, and I think I should be able to get in a backup left back for that fee. They have accepted £4 million for Gaten Bong, our backup left back. It looks likely he'll leave the club, so now I need a left back. So I found a left back called Alex Martinez. He's from Granada. He's worth £1 million, and they have accepted a £1.5 million bid. Now, if he's happy to come in as a rotation or a backup option, I think it'd be absolutely fantastic for the price. He's not as good as our left back, Bernardo. I don't think he is anyway. Yeah, Bernardo, better physically, better defensively, better mentally, better aerially. But Alex Martinez is much better going forward. So it does give me an option in the games where we are at least expected to get some points to be able to play this guy, and maybe he will offer a bit more. So I've agreed a 2-year deal for Alex Martinez on 16.5 grand a week. He was happy to come in as a rotation option, so that seems like it's covered all the bases to me. I am just about to play Stevenage in the FA Cup 3rd round. I thought I'd just quickly show you the side. A lot of our second string involved David Button in goal, Bruno at right back, who might be leaving the club, Gaten Bong, who's had a £4 million offer accepted. It's a little bit of a risk playing him, but I'm not too fussed. If he gets injured and he ends up staying, that's not the end of the world. What I have noticed is centre-back is really an area where we're lacking depth, so I'm going to have to go back in the transfer market and see if I can get a centre-back. Kiel in the defensive midfield, Dale Stevens and Bissoma starting in the centre of midfield, Solimat, Locadia, and a young Swede who I didn't really take much notice of, Victor Gyökeres, a striker, a good bit of potential on him. He's going to play the pressing forward role for us today, and you never know, if he does really well today, he might get a start in the first team as Andonia hasn't really set the world alight so far. Well, we're definitely a team that plays better on the back foot. We've just drew 0-0 at home to Stevenage in the FA Cup, so we're going to have to play a replay at some point. So now here is an interesting one. Locadia has received an offer from Newcastle of £15.75 million, which obviously matches his value. I want as much money up front as I can, so let's start at 25. And they feel it's acceptable. I probably could have got more for him. £25 million for Jurgen Locadia. Thank you very much, Newcastle. I will take it all day. So, looking to replace Jurgen Locadia. Now, there's been two names that has really stood out to me. The first of which was Jack Grealish. Now, whether we'll be able to sign him or not is another matter. But the fact that he can just play all over the pitch. He's English. He's worth £9.5 million. So it might be a bit difficult to get him signed. If we could get him for around the £15 million mark, I'll probably go for that. We can obviously play inside forward on the left hand side, which is what we play. But I could also play him in the centre of midfield as a Metzola, which is currently occupied by Davy Propper. But the other one I thought about, which would purely be a backup signing, is Hernani. He can play on both wings, inside forward on the right, winger on the left. If he was to be signing, he was to play, I might switch things around, maybe play the Trek on the left-hand side and the inside forward on the right with Solly March or somebody else. So we'll have to see how it goes with them too, but them are my options. And there's the confirmation for our backup left back, Alex Martinez. Now, until Bong leaves the club, I am going to delay the transfer. I don't want to be signing a third choice left back if Bong decides he wants to reject the offer from West Brom. And there we are. Mohamed El Neni is going to join the club, and he will be in our squad going into the... Well, do you get cup ties in the League Cup? I'm not even sure. But he will be a very, very important player to us, according to our assistant manager. And we are going to change things around in terms of the player roles and play a defensive midfielder on defend in that role. And he will be in our starting 11, hands down. But next up, we do have a game against Manchester City in the Capital Cup. First leg of our semi-final. Nobody from the second string played particularly well in the game against Stevenage, so nobody forces the way into the side except from El Neni, obviously a new signing. He's going to go straight in, and we'll see how he performs in today's match. Now, obviously, Man City, they are by far favourites. This is not even a second string squad, which is kind of what I was hoping for, but they are matching our formation man to man, so we'll just have to see how things go on. And we kick off shooting from left to right in the first half. I am going to go cautious from the get-go. Obviously, Man City are definitely going to have the majority of the possession. So we just need to try and counter them. Highlight now, Bernardo Silva with a free kick. Hits the post. And David Button is very fortunate to get that one into his hands. Another highlight now, this time down the right-hand side for Man City. Bernardo Silva plays the ball to David Silva. Got overlapping from Benjamin Mendy on the left-hand side. Ball's played in back post. Jesus is there. David Button keeps it out. And we'll keep it at 0-0 for now. But there is another highlight. Danilo on the right-hand side. Good block by us, but it falls to Aguero. Bernardo Silva in the box now. He's going to shoot. He should have probably shot there. Is that Bernardo Silva? I'm not even sure who it was. Might have been David Silva. This time it's a corner. Bernardo Silva to take it for Man City. John Stones nearly gets in, but we managed to clear it off the line. Balls against the wall time here. We are going defensive rather than counter because this isn't fun. This is not fun whatsoever. Please get a clear, Bernardo. And that's the end of highlight. We've definitely rode our luck in the opening few games with Brighton. Not conceding so far is unbelievable, really. The Stevenage game was a little bit of a wake-up call that we don't really have the impetus to take games by the scruff of the neck if we are to go 1-0 down against a team in the Premier League. So we're going to have to be very careful of that. Not conceding is going to be our primary MO going forwards. But 15 shots, need no reply from us. No. Only 15 minutes to go and Gross has got a corner. He plays it in, but it goes through the Manchester City box, and Riyad Mahrez is just, he's ran from their box, played the ball in. Jesus is there. Can we get the challenge in? No penalty. There is no penalty. And Solly March, can he kick it forward? He can kick it forward and falls to Andoni after John Stones panics. Anthony Knockout now on this right-hand side. Get the ball in. John Stones clears. Whose highlight is this? Are we going to get a chance out of this or not? Mohamed El Neni to Pascal Gross. Knockout. Andoni tries to take the strike on from there. He had absolutely no hope of beating the defender, and Raheem Sterling's just absolutely burned all of our players. And Danilo, the right back, of course. Why is he on the penalty spot? But he is. And he puts Manchester City 1-0 up. Remember, this is only the first leg and we are away from home. And getting beat off Man City in the League Cup is not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. But I would like to get to a final and maybe win a cup competition with Brighton. That would be quite nice. But if it's not to be, it's not to be. There's only 10 minutes to go. Looks like it's going to be another corner for Man City there. But we'll make our changes. Bissouma coming on for Pascal Gross. Balogun will come on for Montoya. And Dale Stevens will come on for what's his face in centre of midfield, Davy Proper. As Vincent Kompany puts Manchester City 2-0 up. 10 minutes to go. Are we going to fall apart a little bit? I can feel it. I might go on the counter now. Just to see, is it too dangerous? Is 2-0 that bad of a scoreline so far? I'm not really sure. It's difficult. It's difficult to know exactly what to do in the sort of situation where you're up against a team that is just far better than you, but you're 2-0 down. Balogun is in the box. Our centre-back, who was playing at right-back, has just scored the goal to maybe get us back into this tie. Bernardo with a free kick just inside Manchester City's half. Bissouma, who's another substitute, came on, feeds Balogun in, and this is a finish and a half to put us 1-goal disadvantage. It's absolutely fantastic. 5 minutes to go and Riyad Mahrez takes the free kick for Man City and it goes just wide. And this will be the final highlight of the game. We managed to get this corner clear and it finished Manchester City 2, Brighton 1. That is not a bad result whatsoever. Pleasing performance. Some of them seem to lose focus a little bit there, but I'm not too concerned about that. Gareth Southgate was looking at Lewis Dunk. Lewis Dunk, go on son, get yourself an England cap. Well, Southampton have just came in for Bong with a £4 million offer. I upped it to 5, they've accepted it. So it's up to Gate and Bong now. I'm not going to cancel these negotiations with West Brom, just in case I pee him off and he doesn't leave the club. But it looks like he might end up going to Southampton for 5. And there we are. Jurgen Locadia is leaving the club and joining Newcastle United. £25 million is absolutely unbelievable. How much of that goes into the... Oh, I've got 23.9 million. Should I just go in for Jack Grealish? I really feel like I want to. He's an English player. He's decent enough, and because we're not really looking too far into the future, I think he's good enough. Not Locadia. What am I doing? He's quite good enough to fit in our first team squad without causing too many issues. Between 11 million and 16.5. Right, let's get this deal done, because there is another deal that I wouldn't mind doing if we actually have the money for it, and we'll talk about that just after. We're going to go straight in with a £12 million offer. You're not getting players. Just get lost. Remove. Right, 5 million up front, 11 million straight. We'll put that down to 14.5 million, see what they say. They're wanting £20 million from him. Look, I've never managed Jack Grealish on FM. It's never been done. I'm going to offer £17 million, but a lot of that paid over the next couple of seasons when we will no longer be here. So I'm not too scared about that. But if we get him in, I would actually be really, really pleased with that. He's just such a good utility player, you know, and I feel like I would play him at centre midfield as a starter. I'm not sure how he compares with Davy Proper. I know Davy's one of our best players, actually. So that's how they compare. He's definitely more well-rounded, I think. No, he's not well-rounded. Davy Proper's more well-rounded, but he's slightly better attacking, got the slightly better physicals. I think I would sign him anyway, even if he's not to be the first choice, just to play on that left hand side. I might even start him over Izquierdo, because whereas Izquierdo is definitely a bit faster, he definitely hasn't got the same sort of physicals that Jack Grealish has. So that's how he compares to Izquierdo. He's just a better player, apart from speed, vision, physical, mental, aerially, technically, attacking wise. So if Jack Grealish is to come in, he will be our first choice left mid. And because of the amount of money we've received for Locadia, I think I'm going to go in for Jack Butland. Maybe 7.5 up front. They want between 20 and 30 million. So it's going to be a lot of money spent. But because we can push that over the course of 3 years rather than all up front, we can maybe do a deal here. We'll see what they say at 20 million. They're wanting 30. So if we'll cut that down, I don't mind spending 8 up front. That wouldn't be too bad and we'd still be able to afford it. We'll maybe look at 23.5, see what they say to that. They've actually upped it to 32.5. That is not good negotiating, Stoke. So I'm going to offer 25. We'll see what they say to that. They have accepted £25.5 million for Jack Butland. That will be 2 really good English signings to bring into the squad, I think. So Grealish and Butland have both been offered contracts. 47.5k a week for Jack Butland, 40k a week for Jack Grealish. I would be really, really... I don't know about you guys. You might be sitting there thinking, what are you doing, Sam? Why are you signing them too? But I can't help but feel like they'd be really, really good signings. So we're not going to complete the majority of the signings in this episode. This will be the final game of the episode. Wolves at home in the Premier League. Now, Wolves, I'm not sure how they're doing in terms of the league just yet, but this is the expected formation. 5 at the back. That might be difficult for us. You see what we were like against Stevenage. It wasn't the first team, but we couldn't break them down. If Wolves are playing defensively and maybe on the counter, we might be something we really, really struggle against. They are currently in 10th position in the league on 29 points in their first season. They are doing quite well. We all know Wolves have done incredibly well in real life this season. And I think the players on Football Manager also are highly rated and they have good attributes. So Wolves are indeed playing the 5 at the back formation, but this is the team we are going to go with. Button in goal, Montoya, Duffy, Dunk and Bernardo in defence, El Neni in defensive midfield, Grossen, Davy Proper in the centre, Nokyart, Izquierdo and Andonia leading the line. They have signed Divock Origi, who, if you've been watching Champions League, not a good sign. Right, come on the lads, let's see if we can make it 10 points in 4 league matches, which will be unbelievable. I would be very shocked if we actually win this match. I'm more expecting maybe a draw, maybe a 0-0 or a 1-1 or something like that. But early signs indicate that we are dominating possession as Ruben Neves goes incredibly close for Wolves there. I'm tempted to go positive. I am tempted. We'll give it another 10-15 minutes and maybe make the team mentality change just to take this game by the scruff of the neck. Looks like, are they coming forward again? Gross tries to get it clear, but it falls to Helder Costa, who takes a strike from the edge. They're not really getting in the box, so we are going to go on control or positive and see if that can net us any positive results. Highlight now, Helder Costa coming down the right-hand side. Origi's in the box. What a save by David Button. Do you know what? The keeper was the one spot I thought we really needed to improve, and they have been fantastic since we've joined the club. It's David Button. Martin Ryan's away. I don't know what he's doing. We are going to go back to balance. Wolves will come back into this game. But I hope Jack Butland's a good signing. Another highlight now. João Moutinho plays the ball in. Dunk plays it to Ruben Neves. We're going to go attacking now straight away. We're not messing about. We are going to lower the length of our passing a little bit to try and keep the ball. But every highlight's been them with a set piece. They must be playing for set pieces. Playing 5 at the back would make sense if you're just trying to counter or play for set pieces and get your goals that way. And it looks like it's been quite effective for Wolves today. So that is the end of the first half. We'll G the boys up, get them back out for the second. I would hate to get beat off Wolves at home. I mean, we've had such a good start and I would love for it to continue. 20 minutes to go and we are doing absolutely nothing. We're going to take off the focus down the right. We're going to go much more direct and up the tempo quite a lot. And we'll look to make some attacking changes. Glenn Murray, he's never played a game for me. He's going to get on as a poacher. And we're going to see what that sort of... see what it does. We'll bring on Solly March on that right-hand side as an inside forward as well. We're going to change them two to support. See if they can get involved in the build-up play a little bit more. But it's not looking great, lads. 10 minutes to go. We haven't created anything today. And another set piece for Wolves. They are definitely playing for them. João Moutinho back to Otto. Ruben Neves back to Bennett. Cordy got space on the left-hand side. Alessandrini plays it back all the way to... Can we get a foot in and maybe just counter with the pace of Glenn Murray? Ruben Neves back to Bennett. This highlight's been on longer than me life. Ball's played over the top. Origi's in behind. Goes for the strike. Goes just over. Very attacking for the last 10. We are going to go to the 4-2-3-1 wide. Pascal Gross can be our advanced playmaker in there. El Neni can be a deep lying playmaker there. We'll see if it makes any sort of a difference. But to be honest with you, have we seen an attacking highlight from us this game? I don't think we have. And now we are. I knew we'd struggle against a 5-back. And there we are. Wolves 1, Brighton 0. Our first league defeat in charge of Brighton. And after that result against Wolves, it does see us fall back into the relegation zone, having played a game more than a lot of the teams around us as well, which is a little bit unfortunate. In terms of the episode goal, how it's went though, I think we've done some positive things. I think if we can get Jack Butland, Jack Grealish and Alex Martinez in after losing Locadia and Bong as our left back, I think it'll be a positive bit of business so far happened, and I think El Neni will definitely come good. I am going to change that role back to a ball-winning midfielder. I think it might... The results were better when we were playing with a ball-winning midfielder, so we'll change it back. He can still play that role absolutely fine, as you can see highlighted. Absolutely no problem for El Neni. So if them players come in, we've definitely improved the first team squad. Whether that will improve the first team set of results, who knows. So the next episode, we're going to play Stevenage again. We'll just fly through that. I'm not going to show you that one. We will play Everton and Man City in the next episode, and we'll probably conclude the vast majority of our January transfer business. So, if you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, and if you are enjoying my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.